It's a wrap for the 2019 SEA Games in the Philippines, with the closing ceremony taking place this evening at New Clark Athletic Stadium. Now, how did Team Singapore fare at the Games? Here are the highlights. Team Singapore's largest ever athlete contingent of 659 athletes from 48 sports went through 15 days of intense competition. The medal haul: 53 gold, 46 silver and 68 bronze medals, as well as 15 Games records. 51 out of the 167 medals were achieved by SEA Games debutants. Swimming remains the nation's top performing sport with 23 gold medals. In fencing, Singapore emerged as the top Southeast Asian nation, with all teams in foil, sabre and épée securing at least a medal. Kwar Cheng Wen is the most bemedaled male athlete of the Games, with 6 gold and 2 silver medals. However, the athletics and football squads have come under fire for their dismal performance. With us live from the SEA Games in the Philippines is Assistant Sports Editor Low Lin Fhoong. Hey Lin Fhoong. So hi Lin Fhoong, now you've been in the Philippines covering the SEA Games. Did Team Singapore get the medal total that it set out to achieve?
Well, actually, the medal target wasn't really made public to the media or to the rest of Singaporeans. But if you look at how many medals they achieved this time, it was 53. If you compare to our best ever haul, which was 84, that was the SEA Games 2015 in Singapore. KL in 2017 was actually our best away haul, which was about 57. So we were not too far, I think, from our best away haul. So it was good performance from Team Singapore. What's interesting to note also, is how well some of these teams did, because for traditional sports, there were a number of sports that had their events reduced. So it was more challenging for them also to win medals, because they were strong in certain events or categories, but these were not offered at the SEA Games in the Philippines.
Right. Now, Lin Fhoong, on that note, which sports stood out for you?
I think it was definitely swimming, because swimming had the best away haul of 23 gold medals. So this accounted for 46% of Singapore's gold medals. There were 9 national records, 16 SEA Games records, and 3 Olympic qualifiers. So in 2015, there were 23 gold medals. So what was interesting also was the breadth and depth of the swimmers who achieved gold medals, individual gold medals. So in 2015, they had 23 gold medals, but it was won by two male swimmers and 2 female swimmers. This time it was 6 and 6, so 6 women and 6 men. So obviously, the team has grown in terms of talent and potential.
Right. Now, Lin Fhoong, we talked about all the very encouraging news, but what about the sports that didn't do as well? What are some of the disappointments?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest ones was athletics, because in 2017 they won 2 gold medals. This was in the men's marathon and women's high jump. So this time there were 3 bronze medals, 2 from Shanti Pereira, the sprinter, and 1 from Eastern in the hurdles. There were no national records, no personal bests. The relays all finished last, so there were 3 relays that finished last. It's from 2 gold medals to 0. That was really, really disappointing for I think the athletics team and the fraternity. So there were reports of infighting, within the sport, coaches, parents. So it was quite disappointing to hear that coming from athletics.
I see. Now, of course, we must note that the first-timers, there were quite a few first-timers that did Singapore proud. Tell us about the athletes and sports that made their debut this year.
Yeah, so there were actually 7 new sports that debuted at the SEA Games. The ones that I thought did really well were underwater hockey. So, they caught everyone by surprise, because they won 4 gold medals. All the medals on offer. They swept all the medals. And there was also a player called Christina Tam. She was 50 years old. She competed in the 1981 SEA Games as a 12-year-old as a swimmer, and she didn't win. She won a silver medal in the relay, and then she came back 38 years later and won her first gold. So that was an amazing story.
Yeah.
There was also Sambo, a former fencer called Nasri Sutari, who actually missed out on the national team when he was doing his NS. So he came back, switched to Sambo, and then won himself a gold medal.
Right.
Also, please go ahead.
Sorry for cutting you off. You can carry on.
Okay, there were also some swimmers. So we had some debutants in the swim team. So really notable performances from them. There was Darren Chua, who famously beat Joseph Schooling in the 100 meter free. So he won the individual gold medal on his debut and added another one in the 200 meter free. There was Jonathan Tan, who beat his older teammate, Jong Zhen-wei, in the 50 meter freestyle.
Right.
And Elena Pedersen, who is about 15 or 16, who won the 50 meters backstroke, the women's. And she actually beat Vietnam's swim queen, Tian Bien, who actually is the MVP for the SEA Games. So she beat her in the event, and it says a lot about our divisions as well.
I see. Now, Lin Fhoong, on a final note, your thoughts on how Team Singapore is looking going into next year's Tokyo Olympics?
I think it's going to be interesting Olympics because we have Joseph Schooling, who's he's met the mark and he's trying to put in good times to get back in shape and fitness as well. Hua Cheng-wen, who has 2 Olympic qualifiers, also working very hard. In fact, they've all gone off to training camps in the US right after the SEA Games. And then outside of the SEA Games, we actually had 2 sailors, Kimberly Lim and Cecilia Low, who actually qualified Singapore for the 49er FX, one of the sailing classes in the Olympics. But I think the interesting one would be table tennis because they didn't do so well at these SEA Games. They won 2 gold medals out of 4. The men's doubles, I think they struggled. Men's and women's doubles, so they struggled a bit. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they fare, given that Tian Wei, our top paddler, and Yu Mengyu, the other female paddler, they were both injured this time. So the injuries will be a concern for the team.
Right. Well, thank you, Lin Fhoong, for giving us a quick wrap of how Team Singapore performed at the 2019 SEA Games. And once again, congratulations to all our athletes for their hard work. To read Lin Phoong's full SEA Games report card, do head on over to our website, straitstimes.com.